Hello, this is Frank Mealy from HeartlandDiaryUSA.com, bringing you news every conservative can use. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay up to date. Today on MSNBC, Hallie Jackson did an interview with Trump campaign spokesperson Hogan Gidley, and there are two parts of this interview that I'm going to show. I want to focus on one. Hallie Jackson wants to talk about plexiglass on the debate stage, and muted mics. Hogan Gidley wants to talk about issues, but you'll hear Hallie Jackson say that she wants to talk about the issues. Those are not the issues the American people want to talk about. Second, she tries to imply that FBI Director Chris Wray saying that there is no, quote, widespread voter fraud in the election means that there is no voter fraud. Hogan Gidley tries to set her straight by using NBC reporting to explain that there is voter fraud across the country, which makes it widespread. I'm pretty sure that Christopher Wray, even though he's corrupt and incompetent, knows that. He may mean there is no single actor creating widespread voter fraud. In any case, listen to this debate. Thank God for Hogan Gidley and for President Trump for teaching people how to fight back against the fake press.
And so that's something he's going to bring up in the debate tonight.
Let me ask you about a couple of other debate pieces here. The plexiglass that has been put up on stage, as we've seen from inside the debate hall. Is the campaign comfortable with that? Will you allow that to remain?
It's my understanding that is going to remain. It's not surprising, though. I mean, this commission is completely biased. When you have someone like an elder statesman, Bob Dole, coming out and saying that it's problematic the way that these people are treating Donald Trump in this particular debate situation, that tells you a lot.
I don't understand that.
They've been untruthful.
What are you basing that on? What are they doing that's different? I mean, they're putting plexiglass in place because of the coronavirus pandemic that's happening. They're muting the microphones to enforce the rules that President Trump himself did not abide by in the first debate. What's the problem?
Well, first of all, there's no mute button big enough to cover up 50 years of failure for Joe Biden. Let's be clear about that. And 2 minutes unfettered for Joe Biden is not enough time to explain away the fact that he, in fact, now we know, based on the-record sources, has discussed, advised, and signed off on, working with China and with Hunter Biden.
Hogan, that is something that Intel, I'm not going to get into that because Intel experts call that potentially a hack and dumb situation. I'm specifically asking about your candidate. You work for President Trump. You're on his campaign. Is he going to respect that mute button? Will he give Joe Biden that uninterrupted speaking time, as I know, based on source conversations, some of his advisors are encouraging him to do?
Well, a couple of things there. First of all, it's the president's style that got us trade deals that benefited American workers for the first time in history. Joe Biden didn't do that. It's the president's style that got us peace deals in the Middle East that made the world a safer place. Joe Biden didn't do that. It's President Trump's style that got our hostages back at a record rate, that defeated ISIS, that cut taxes, that expanded the economy and gave record high employment to African American, Asian Americans, Hispanic Americans, and women. But the plexiglass situation...
I got to bring you back to the debate. I'm bringing you back to the debate and the mic situation and what we're going to see tonight, because the American people want to know about the issues. I think they care about the substance. So please come back to the debate. Focus for me on that. Is the president going to allow a conversation to happen rather than what we saw the last time?
I am talking about the issues. I'm also talking about the president's style. You're talking about plexiglass. Regardless of that glass,
I'm talking about a microphone.
That can't allow Joe Biden to hide from his record, and neither can a mute button.
All right, I just want to, on the record, that you're not answering that question. Let me ask you a different one then, on that election security issue that came up.
No, hold on. Let me answer the question. You asked about the 2 minutes.
Please,
I've asked 4
times.
Yeah, and I was getting there, Hallie. But let's be clear about the 2 minutes.
45 minutes, man.
No red-blooded American is going to stand by anyone and allow them to lie about them. The president's not going to let Joe Biden do that.
So that sounds like you're saying the president is not going to let
Joe
Biden have his 2 minutes then. It sounds to me like that's what you're saying.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying the president is a counterpuncher, and if you're going to lie about him, he's going to call you out for it. We'll wait and see what happens in this debate. The president wants to abide by the rules, but if Joe Biden's not going to be truthful, then the president's going to tell him about it.
Again, the president didn't abide by the rules that first debate, so I do think it's questionable to say that he wants to abide by those rules. But Hogan, I have to ask you about this election security warning, because this is obviously important as we go into these last week and a half here before Election Day. To your knowledge, was the campaign briefed ahead of time about what DNI Ratcliffe and what Director Wray told the American public last night?
We were not, no.
Did you receive any briefing after, in the time since that happened at 7:30 and now? Has anybody at the campaign been formally informed by the intelligence agencies about this warning and more about it?
I did not, and not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. Director Wray talked specifically about the idea that essentially, and I'm paraphrasing here, there is no widespread evidence of voter fraud, that the American people should feel confident in the way that voting procedures are being conducted. So 2 questions on that. Number 1, the president himself has been somebody that has spread misinformation and disinformation about voting security. Given this new information from Director Wray and the comments he's now reiterating, will the president back off on making those claims? Is that a conversation that you and the campaign are having with him?
You can't deny what you've seen on television in all of these local markets, where people are finding ballots in trash cans, people are finding ballots in ditches in the back of trucks.
There is no widespread evidence of voter fraud, Hogan. You know that. I don't want to have to rehash this conversation. I'm asking if the president is going to back off those claims. If you can't answer that, that's fine. We can move on, but just answer the question.
I'm answering the question because the fact is it does occur. Listen, I received a ballot just the other day in my apartment from someone who hasn't lived there in 10 years.
Of voter fraud. Okay, well, we're going to move on then, because that is my other question is this. Before I let you go,
Hallie, no, Hallie. Don't pretend like your local markets, NBC affiliates are reporting on this in all types of areas across this country.
The FBI director himself, specifically within the last 12 hours, said on national television across every network that there is no evidence of widespread voter fraud. Somebody who is a part of the Trump administration's own intelligence expert field, Hogan. That's not coming from me. That's coming from Wray. Does the president have confidence in his FBI director? Yes or no?
The president has confidence that the American people want a free and fair election. That's what he's been pushing for this entire time. That's why he set up the federal government to work with the states to get interference out of our election cycle. It was Barack Obama and Joe Biden who knew Russia was going to interfere and did nothing.
I guess there's no answer to that question.
The whole of government approach
we'll leave it there.
to make sure
Hogan,
that every single person's vote counted.
On a day when we are obviously looking ahead to an important evening here in this presidential race. Hogan Gidley, National Press Secretary for the Trump campaign. After the break, the CDC